So, when we get busy, the first thing that tends to go is our self care. So, let us take care of that today with some yin yoga. We'll begin today in Sphinx pose. So, starting laying down on the front side of your body, draw your elbows underneath your shoulders or slightly farther ahead, especially if there's pinching or pain in the low back. And you may wish to bring a block on its highest setting under your head. If not, think of ever so slightly drawing your chin in so you can lengthen through the back of your neck. And really lengthen your legs long behind you, maybe drawing the feet a little bit wider than you normally would so you can create some space for the low back, this area of the body that holds you up so well and supports you all through your day. Or alternatively, you could bring blocks underneath your shoulders, releasing your arms long behind you. These blocks would be on angles slightly in as you dip your forehead towards the ground. This might feel a little bit more nourishing or rejuvenating. Either option is totally acceptable. Wherever you land, think of melting your ribs towards the ground. Shoulders soften ever so slightly towards the ears. The muscles across the forehead begin to let go. Maybe you give your jaw a slight wiggle, reminding it what it's like to not be tight. Notice your belly gently pressing into the mat with each inhale. And you can use this gentle pressure as a reminder to help your breath slow, signaling to your nervous system that it's safe to be. It's safe to take care of yourself. It's okay to be still and do something that is simply for you. Take about 3 more breaths, testing to see if your body can let go even a fraction more in this posture. Where can you soften? Gently drawing yourself closer to the ground, stacking your palms, elbows wide, heels towards your bum. Let your legs windshield wiper from side to side gently, easily. Slower probably than you'd like to. And re-extending your legs long behind you. Palms pull under your shoulders. You can shift yourself up through table and hips draw all the way back into child's pose. Your knees can stay closer together or you can choose to widen them. I find a wide-legged child's pose gives you a lot more room in the belly to have really full, deep breaths. And you can choose to lay on a bolster if you'd like, blocks, or maybe no props at all, resting, dipping your heart and forehead towards the ground. If at any point in this practice you'd like to draw a blanket over yourself, you're more than welcome to do so. And as you breathe here in child's pose, think of sending your breath down to your low back. Like there's a balloon on each side of your spine, and as you inhale, it gently inflates, creating space. As it exhales, it softens, leaving you with a bit more spaciousness and room in the low back. Letting the hips grow heavy, shoulder blades glide away from each other. You continue to get heavy. Three more breaths. Hips and shoulders draw closer to the mat as you continue to release. Pressing your palms into the ground, helping yourself walk back upright. Moving into a tabletop position, you may wish to move through some cat-cows, drawing prana, chi, life force energy, whatever you prefer to call it, through the body. Like a gentle reset between poses. Move softly, and again, probably slower than you'd like or are used to. And drawing feet to one side, hips to the other, settle onto your bum, and draw your legs long in front of you. And let your legs be heavy. Usually they like to roll outward. You can slightly bend into the knees. And here you can use a bolster, no props, blocks, whatever you'd like. But first start sitting tall, preparing for caterpillar. Stacking shoulders over hips, head over shoulders, almost like you are trying to get your back flat against a wall. And curl your chin in towards your chest. Start rounding in on yourself as you start to drift forward. Hands can walk forward along the legs or beside the legs on the ground. And once you reach your edge, where you're no longer folding forward, you can use props under to support you. This might look like making a tower with your blocks, or bringing a bolster on an angle, resting it into the ground and under the top of your head, your forehead. And let your arms be heavy, so much so that elbows bend. Fingertips may curl as they get softer and more relaxed. Soles of feet and ankles almost feel like they're weightless. It is normal to feel a sensation traveling down the spine, usually starting in the neck and floating down, especially if you haven't been doing much yoga or taking time for yourself. It's very common to hold and to tense into the back body. And caterpillar here helps to alleviate that tension, but sometimes it comes with a little bit more sensation than we're used to, and that's okay. If it at any point becomes too much, you are more than welcome to slightly back out. But I encourage you to take 3 breaths before you do so, as often the breath can help give you enough spaciousness to stay. Use your hands to gently press into mat or legs. Keep your chin, your head heavy as you restack shoulders over hips. Lastly, head restacks over shoulders. What sensations are present after this stillness, this gentle opening, reawakening of the backside of your body? Coming next into a reclined butterfly, you are more than welcome to lay down fully flat on your back, or if you would like to invite in a bit of a heart opener, you can use a bolster underneath the length of the spine. You can also use blocks to bring yourself into a supported fish type variation, or lay completely flat. It might feel nice to draw a blanket over yourself in this pose too, setting yourself up. Soles of feet come to touch, knees fall wide towards the edges of your mat, maybe blocks underneath outer legs. I find it's always so supportive to use lots of props here. But this is your practice. What does your self-care look like for you in reclined butterfly today? Do your arms want to flare wide, palms to the sky? Does it feel more grounding to have palms touching the ground? Or does it feel really supportive to have your own healing touch, your hands resting on your body? Your self-care is personal, just like each yoga pose looks different for every body. Your self-care looks different for you compared to anyone else. It may even be different from day to day. for about 5 more breaths. Is there a way that you can release a touch more of your weight into the support of your mat? Think of the back side of your body growing heavy, while the front side of your body gets light. Embracing these two sensations to feel fully at ease. You can stay here for longer if this pose is suiting you, or if you'd like to journey into waterfall, roll to either side so you can move props out from underneath you. And drawing soles of feet to the mat, use a block or two. You slide them underneath your sacrum, upper cushy part of your bum, either side by side, if you're using two or just one. And resting the weight of your hips into the block, lift your legs up towards the sky. A bend in your knees, so much so that there's little to no effort in your core whatsoever. And with the option to reach your arms up to the sky as well, letting your limbs dangle and be soft, like they're floating above you. And gently letting your limbs fall back to earth, arms by your side, heels into bum, and then feet back to the mat. Removing props from underneath you, and making your way into your final relaxation pose, Shavasana. Option to take a Stonehenge Shavasana by bringing blocks and or bolster. The bolster will come on top of the blocks if you'd like, about hip width distance, and placing your calves on blocks or bolster about mid-calf, and then laying back so your legs are higher than your body. This gentle inversion can feel quite supportive. And taking your time to make any final adjustments so that you can be as comfortable and supported here as possible. Letting yourself integrate all of the self-care that you just did for yourself. Relishing in the joy of the time you took simply for you. Noticing with awareness how you feel. The difference that even a little bit of self-care can make in your energy, your mind, and your body. Begin to deepen your breath. Letting it fuel you with fresh energy and air as you start to reawaken. Inviting in a gentle movement of fingers and toes or ankles and wrists. Starting to move back into your day with calm and peace. Taking a big stretch. Limbs reach away from each other. Big inhale. Let it go as you sigh it out. Knees draw towards your chest. Perhaps you take a little rock from side to side before rolling over to your right hand side into a fetal position. And eventually making your way up to a comfortable seat to close your practice. We'll meet with hands in prayer at heart center. Bow your head so your third eye meets your fingertips. And thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. For doing this act of self-love for your mind, body, and your soul. May you feel kind words. May you speak kind words. May you think kind words. Together, we bow forward and say thank you. May the rest of your day feel absolutely amazing now that you took some time for yourself. Enjoy it. I'm proud of you.